Picture this. You're sitting across from someone who loves saving money. They get genuinely excited about it. They talk about their savings rate the way other people talk about their favorite TV show. They have spreadsheets, color-coded ones. They check their investment account the way you check Instagram, multiple times a day, just for fun. And you're sitting there thinking, I am not that person. I will never be that person. And honestly, I don't want to be that person. Because saving money feels like punishment. It feels like saying no to everything enjoyable right now so that some future version of you can enjoy it later, and that future version feels abstract and far away. But the coffee you want right now, the dinner out with friends this weekend, the thing you've been eyeing online for 3 weeks, those feel real, those feel immediate, those feel like actual life. So you try to save. You last a few weeks, and then real life happens, and the savings get spent, and you feel guilty, and you tell yourself, you'll try again next month. And next month, the same thing happens. Here's the thing. The problem isn't that you hate saving money. The problem is that you've been told to save money in a way that was never going to work for someone wired like you. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually build savings without becoming someone you're not and without suffering through it every single month. My name is Siva, and I spend way too much time thinking about why saving money feels so miserable for so many people. If that's you, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Okay. Let's start with something that almost nobody in personal finance will say directly. Hating saving money is completely rational. Think about what traditional saving advice actually asks you to do. Take money you earned, money that represents your time and energy, and instead of using it to enjoy your life today, lock it away for a future that might be decades away. Give up real present pleasure for an abstract future reward. From a pure human psychology standpoint, that is a genuinely hard sell, and your brain is not broken for resisting it. There's a concept in behavioral economics called hyperbolic discounting. It means humans naturally value rewards in the present, far more than rewards in the future, even when the future reward is objectively much larger. If I offered you $100 today, or $150 in 6 months, most people take the $100. The present bias is that strong. This isn't a character flaw. It's how human brains evolved. For most of human history, the future was genuinely uncertain. Grabbing what was available now was often the smart move. Your brain is still running that ancient software. In a world of retirement accounts and index funds, that software creates problems. But here's the key insight. If you understand why saving feels hard, you can design a system that works around the resistance instead of fight it head on. Here's the first shift, and it's a mental one. Stop thinking of saving as giving something up. Start thinking of it as paying your future self first. This sounds like a cliche, but the psychology behind it is actually meaningful. When you save after spending, your brain experiences it as loss. You had the money. Now it's gone. Restricted. Locked away. That feeling of loss triggers resistance every single time. But when you automate savings, the moment your paycheck arrives, before you ever see the full amount, your brain never registers it as loss. You just live on whatever's left. The same way you live on your after-tax income without feeling like the government is constantly stealing from you. You just adapt it to the number you actually see. This is called paying yourself first, and the automation part is not optional. Because if you rely on manually transferring money into savings at the end of the month, there will almost always be a reason not to. The transfer requires a decision. Decisions require willpower, and willpower is unreliable. Automate it, even if it's $25 a month. The amount matters far less than the system, because the system that runs without you is infinitely more reliable than a habit that depends on how motivated you feel on a given Tuesday. Here's the second shift. Make saving feel like something other than deprivation. One of the main reasons people hate saving is the framing. Saving means not buying things, not going places, not enjoying life. The entire emotional experience is built around absence and restriction. So reframe it around what you're actually building. Don't call it a savings account. Name it something that connects to a specific goal. A trip you actually want to take. A car you want to own outright. A version of your life where you don't panic when something breaks. Whatever makes the future feel real and worth wanting. The research on this is surprisingly consistent. People save significantly more when their savings have a specific name purpose versus sitting in a generic account labeled savings. Because a named goal creates a mental image, and a mental image makes the future feel concrete instead of abstract. Your brain stops seeing the transfer as money disappearing. It starts seeing it as money building something specific. Open a separate account. Name it the thing you're saving for. Even if the goal is just financial security, name it that. Do not touch emergency fund, future freedom fund, whatever makes it feel real. Then watch the balance grow. Because watching the name goal get closer is genuinely motivating in a way that watching a generic savings number go up simply isn't. Here's the third shift. Give yourself full permission to spend what's left. This is the part most saving advice completely misses, and it's probably the most important one for people who hate saving. Here's the cycle that kills most saving attempts. You try to save, you succeed for a few weeks, then you spend on something that wasn't in the plan. You feel guilty. The guilt makes saving feel like a punishment you failed at, so you stop. And because you stopped, you feel worse. So you spend more to compensate, and the whole thing collapses. The guilt is the enemy, not the spending. Here's the fix. Once your automated savings transfer has happened, whatever money is left in your spending account is yours. Completely, no tracking, no guilt, no second guessing. If you want the coffee, get the coffee. If you want the dinner out, go. The savings already happened. The future is already being funded. Everything else is genuinely yours to enjoy. This removes the guilt entirely, because the money you're spending isn't money you should have saved. You already saved. This is the guilt-free remainder. And when spending feels guilt-free, you stop the compensatory overspending that blows up most savings attempts. The whole emotional cycle breaks. Now here's the fourth shift. Start so small, it feels almost embarrassing. This is where most people get it wrong from the beginning. They decide to start saving and immediately try to save 20% of their income, which sounds responsible, which is probably what some article told them to do, and which almost always fails within 2 months, because it requires a dramatic and immediate lifestyle change that the brain violently resists. Start with 1%. Seriously, if you earn $2,500 a month, that's $25. That's less than a nice dinner. Automate $25 into savings on payday. Live normally. Do that for 1 month, then increase it by 1%. 50, 1 month. Increase again. 75. This is called the Save More Tomorrow approach, and it comes from behavioral economist Shlomo Bernardzi, whose research showed that people who gradually increased their savings rate in small steps save dramatically more over time than people who try to start at a high rate immediately. The reason it works is simple. Each small increase is barely noticeable. Your lifestyle doesn't feel disrupted. There's no dramatic sacrifice triggering resistance. But over 12 months, those 1% increases compound into a meaningful savings rate that you built gradually, without ever feeling the pain of a sudden change. And here's the psychological bonus. Every time you increase that automated transfer, even by a tiny amount, you get a small hit of identity reinforcement. You're someone who is building something, not someone who is depriving themselves. That identity shift, accumulated slowly, is what eventually makes saving feel normal instead of miserable. Let me give you a concrete picture of what this looks like in practice. Say you bring home $3,000 a month and you currently save nothing. Month 1, you automate $30. Payday hits. $30 moves to a separate account named Future Freedom Fund before you ever see it. You live on $2,970. You don't notice the difference. Month 2, you increase it to $60. Still barely noticeable. The fund has $90 in it. It's small, but it exists, and it's growing. Month 6, you're at $180 a month. The fund has over $600. You've never felt a dramatic pinch, but you've built something real. Month 12, you're saving $360 a month without it feeling like a sacrifice. The fund has over $2,500. Your savings rate is 12%, and you got there by starting with $30 and raising it back 30 each month. Same income. No dramatic lifestyle overhaul, just a system that grew quietly in the background. Here's what most people don't realize. The version of yourself that hates saving money isn't a fixed identity. It's a response to a broken system. When saving feels like punishment, you resist it. That's not a personality trait. That's a rational response to bad design. When saving happens automatically before you see the money. When it has a name and a purpose that feels real. When the rest of your money is genuinely yours to spend without guilt. And when the increases are so gradual, you barely feel them. Saving stops feeling like something you're forcing yourself to do. It starts feeling like something that just happens. Like a quiet system running in the background while you live your actual life. And that's the version of saving that actually sticks. Not the version that requires you to become a different person. The version that works with the person you already are. So let's bring this together. Hating saving money doesn't mean you're bad with money. It means you've been trying to save in a way that fights your own psychology, instead of working with it. The fix is 4 things. Automate savings before you ever see the full amount, so your brain never registers it as loss. Name your savings goal so the future feels concrete and worth building toward. Give yourself full guilt-free permission to spend whatever is left so the emotional cycle of guilt and compensatory spending breaks. It starts so small, it feels almost silly, then increase gradually so the resistance never gets triggered. Because here's the truth, you don't need to love saving money. You just need a system that saves it for you without requiring you to fight yourself every single month. The best savings habit isn't the most aggressive one. It's the one quiet enough that you almost forget it's there, and powerful enough that years from now, you look at what it built and genuinely can't believe it came from somewhere that once felt this hard. If this video helped you think about saving differently, hit the subscribe button. And I'm curious, what's the thing that always makes your savings disappear? Let me know in the comments, because sometimes just naming it is the first step to designing around it.